Greetings. Welcome to Limitless Alchemy 808. I'm Patience. I'm filming here at a historic church in a neighboring town to where I live, and I'm not sure how this is gonna come out because I got a microphone, just a little wired one. I broke my fucking boycott of Target to get it because it was the only place that had a little microphone that's wired, because I was just being, cheap. And the shit's not working. It's literally not working. So I'm just going to record this, and if the audio sucks ass, then I'll just record it again. Because it's just the push to create. But I'm here at this church. We got some spiders. I don't know if you can see those little guys over there, little orb weavers. And we got Archangel Michael, super chill homie. There he is. And we're just hanging out, drinking coffee, as we normally do. And I chose to come to this location because it is the churches are the result of the biggest limiting belief that we have in this experience. And while churches represent community and safe space for some, not for everyone, but for some, I felt it fitting to come here and talk about how there's no such thing as good or evil. Literally, there isn't. And we have evidence in the Bible that proves God has an ego, and there literally is no separation between God or the devil or angels or demons or anything really, because everything comes from source. How can you deem it good or evil? It just is. Christians and those who ascribe to, God being outside them and them having a human experience, or them being humans having a soul experience to enter the gates of heaven, if you will. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. My bad. Let me drink some coffee. So basically, since everything comes from source, in the Bible, those that are still under the impression that they're just humans, and they talk about how God is omnipotent, so all-knowing, that creation is already done, which is true. But basically, just the fact that they believe that God is all-knowing, then why in the hell do they believe that God and the devil are against each other? That God and the devil are separate from each other? That God and the devil are adversaries? When in actuality, God and the devil are one and the same. And even with the Satanists, they don't want to believe or have anyone else know that Satan, Baphomet, Beelzebub, Satanas, or Satan, what's the other ones? Belial, Behemoth, I don't think I'm getting all of them, but you know, I got most of them. They're literally the same shit. They're all the same shit. The Bible has no account, really, of how Lucifer became Satan. There is no story. There are references to an angel that was, you know, cherubic and highly favored, that was cast down because of his pride and ego. But really, there's just nothing that gives concrete origin. It's kind of just all inferred. But if you think about it, I mean, reading the book of Job, if God is so powerful and omnipotent and untouchable, right? How in the fuck did God become goaded by the devil into proving Job's faith? It's utterly ridiculous. Like, if God, and we'll just, you know, refer to him in the Anglo-Saxon patriarchal sense, if God in all his fucking mightiness and glory could stoop down and allow one of his creations to bait him into basically a dick measuring contest, that proves God has a fucking ego. That proves that you are God. You are literally reflecting God in this experience. You have an ego, God has a fucking ego. I had spoke about dogma in another video. I'll probably link it below, but so if you've ever seen Dogma, you know what I'm talking about. And when I had seen that movie again more recently, it just dawned on me that every reflection of the universe has an ego, has a shadow, because that is the universe. The ego is actually the light. So all that's being reflected into the projection. And shadow is the void, the darkness, the beginning, the ending, the all that there is. And so all of us are exhibiting the perfectness and the imperfectness of the universe, of God, of the creator, of source, of the oversoul, 0 point energy, whatever you would like to refer to it as. But basically where we all came from and where we're all going to, or where we go to all the time. I mean, the shells stay here, they're not going anywhere. But we travel back and forth within the void, within source, when we're astral projecting, when we're sleeping, when we're in meditation, in any moment where we allow our minds to leave our bodies. And that is why I know, and you know, that there's no such thing as good and evil. It's just a distraction. It's just a bait. It's just goading you into believing that we are separated, that, you know, it's us versus them. But there's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's only a construct that we are breaking down with each ripple effect, with each of us who, confirmation verb, thank you universe, with each of us who becomes aware of that fact and rejects that limiting belief. I had watched another creator. Well, it was Desiree from Celestial Rainbow 144. She had gone live a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, and in her live, someone had asked her how to know the difference between ego-based desires and soul-based desires. And she gave very good allegories, very good similes, so she answered it very well. But I was pondering that since I heard that question, and it's just really simple. An ego, even though ego is the light, ego is the personality, the survival. All of us are narcissistic to a certain degree. We have to be. It's self-preservation, and that's okay. It's when, you know, you take it to a extreme, or, you know, it's interfering with others' experience, that maybe reconsider. But to me, ego-based desires, will someone be hurt in the process of you fulfilling that desire? That can indicate if it's ego-based. If someone will not get hurt, including yourself, if someone will not get hurt, following that, a soul-based desire, or whatever, that's your soul-based desire, right? But regardless, how does your stomach feel? When you receive information, when you make decisions, when you speak with others, how does your solar plexus feel? When your solar plexus is open and aligned, all your other chakras come into alignment. And it's basically, yes, we have what? The sacral and the root chakras. Then we have the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, the higher heart, the soul star chakra, all these other chakras above the solar plexus. But really, the solar plexus is the baseline. That is your source of power. That is your source of confidence. That is your source of self-image and self-concept. As you're going throughout the experience, whenever you come in contact with anything, how does your stomach feel? That's going to tell you whether you should stay in a situation or not stay in a situation. Whether you should pursue that desire or you should not pursue that desire. Now, those of us who actively hurt others and it makes them feel good, they are extreme cases, right? They're, for the most part, not mentally well and could definitely use some assistance, counseling, need some help, right? Get some help. If you want to hurt others, please get some help. If you want to hurt yourself, please get some help. Because, just abiding by take no shit, do no harm, that is how we are humble, because we know we're God, but we know that everyone else is as well. So going around hurting others, we're just hurting ourselves. But a lot of times, narcissism and an unhealthy ego can tell you otherwise, and that's when you become self-serving, right? We should definitely align with all that serves us, but if we're continuously serving ourselves above others, that's how we get monarchs and dictators and authoritarians and all kinds of other fun shit that's happening right now. But will not come to pass. There's no shot, because that is an outdated timeline. That is an old program that's obsolete. And more of us who are uninstalling those outdated programs, it's just gonna make the upgrades even quicker and smoother and more plentiful, more abundant, of course. I mean, because more and more of us, right? But yeah, that was just something that I wanted to share, because I had spoken about the void in a previous video, which I'll include in the end screen, and just take this moment to say, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It really helps the channel grow and get recognized by the algorithm. And I appreciate all of you here and contributing your energy to this transmission. But yeah, literally, there's no such thing as good and evil, because everything came from one source. And if that's all that there is, how could it be bad? How could it be wrong? How could it be, thanks universe, how could it be evil? I'm just hearing a song by 45 Grave in my head right now called Evil, and that's why I love goth subculture. That's why I love punk subculture. That's why I love metal subculture, horror subculture, all those different things that we're raised to believe are bad, that we're raised to believe are evil, that we're raised to believe are wrong. My son was talking to me about a gore grind band that used actual gore photos for their album cover, and it was like children and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that. But a lot of the times the lyrics, the imagery, everything that comes from subcultures is to raise awareness. And my son was upset because someone, I think, commented on the video that they're normalizing gore and brutality and everything. And I mean, honestly though, where do you think all the horror movies got it from? I mean, they had to have inspiration from somewhere. So it's just raising awareness. It's just reflecting to society the parts of it that require addressing and shifting, changing, transforming. I grew up under the impression that I was the black sheep of my family, that I was the bad seed, and I embraced it. I mean, I always felt like an outlier within my birth person's family because I am brown and they're all, you know, fairly white people. My DNA is 50% white, so, but my skin color, I'm more of like cinnamon. But, and so, especially as a child, I experienced a lot of racism when I would go with my birth person to places that weren't as progressive as Los Angeles, as California. And even within California, I've experienced racism. But when I moved with my dad, I think I was it was sophomore year. My dad would take me to rent movies, videotapes, every Friday. And I went to the classic movies, because I do love black and white movies. Like, silent movies are my favorite film genre. Like, I fucking love silent films. Like, the expressions and the emotions and the production is just amazing because of the primitiveness and the ingenuity and the storytelling. But I had seen this movie called The Bad Seed, and I was like, oh, hey. So I picked it up, rented it, watched it, and it's about a young girl in the 1950s who's actually a serial killer. Because, well, I mean, she's a severe narcissist, but and so she becomes a serial killer. And the mom, she has her suspicions about her daughter, but she doesn't really have concrete evidence. And then finally, she finds out that the mom, she's actually adopted, and her biological mother was committed for being a murderer. And she basically loses her mind. And so I believe she's committed. I don't believe the daughter killed her. I don't know. I could be misremembering, but I believe she's committed to a mental institution, and the dad doesn't know anything about the daughter because he was away. I forget if he was in the military or he's like a salesman or something like that, but he was, gone for months at a time, like, typical 1950s fucking nuclear family shit, right? Dad don't know shit. Dad don't have a clue. But dad go to work, like, that's it, right? But so basically the daughter gets away with killing, I believe, 2 people. And, who knows, because it's kind of left at a cliffhanger, because she's just with her dad and the mom's gone crazy and she's free to continue. And I really liked it. I really liked that movie. Then come junior year, I decided to join a drama club and audition for plays. And we had a new drama director that year. And the first play she was producing, putting on, directing, whatever. The first play she was producing for our school was The Bad Seed. I was like, oh shit, I just saw that movie. Like, I can totally play Rhoda. Like, what the fuck? So I auditioned and got the part. And I mean, honestly, I had so much fun playing that role. I did have to bind my chest, which sucked. But hey, no pain, no gain, right? It's all for art and beauty. But I was really well received in that role because I embodied the mentality of black sheep. I embodied the mentality of bad seed because that's what I believed myself to be. That's what I was categorized within both my families, my maternal side and my paternal side. Like, my cousin constantly calls me bad seed, but in an endearing way. But for the most part, I know that I'm not any of that shit. Like, I mean, sure, I'll be black sheep, I'll be bad seed, I don't give a fuck. Like, Google says I'm a modern Satanist for my beliefs, but it's like, okay, I'm a Satanist that loves Jesus and constantly talks about how sick and awesome he is. So it's like, okay, whatever, I can be a Satanist because We're literally all one. We're all the same. There's no one against each other. So, sure, call me whatever you want, label me whatever you want. I know what I know. I feel what I feel. You know what you know. You feel what you feel. And we're just divine reflections of each other. So, I feel comfortable with everything I've said, and I feel that the message is clear. But if you need any clarification or other examples, feel free to comment below. I'd also love to hear about your own experiences with the good and evil dynamic and how you've transmuted all of that as well. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay soft, stay sweet, and stay pure. Love yourself. Cheers. Test. Let's see if this shit works, because it costs $5 and that's $5 billion in the 5D.